You know what? He said this. I was watching one of your YouTube videos. Will Barton from the Denver Nuggets, y'all. What's up, man?
That's good.
Man, you said I've been doing this for 10 years, and I was like, no, ain't no way Will been in the league for 10 years. I'm like, damn. it's
You got to think, David. You've been doing it a long time, so I'm up there now. I know
I
you see
guess
him
so.
come and go. You
Yeah,
just seen him come and go, but I've been here for a while now.
you the
You
crafty veteran now.
Yeah, yep, yep.
How's it feel to be an old head in the league? Because you know the league is super young, so 10 years is like you a senior citizen. You get like discounts at IHOP.
You know the crazy thing is, when I first came to the league, the teams were still based like that. You still had the old heads, the veterans, and they kind of like, I want to say at that time when I first came in was still majority of the team.
Yeah.
They were still majority of the team. So to see how the lead is now, when majority of the team is young, is crazy to me because they've been calling me an old head since I was 28, and I'm looking at them like when I first came to the league, 28 was like your prime.
Right, right, sure. Now I
Oh,
28
see.
was your
facts. Yeah,
prime.
that's definitely prime. 28. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
so it's crazy.
How does that man? That's got to completely flip the locker room dynamic on its head, though. Because like I know it used to be you go to the old heads for the wisdom, for the knowledge. How do I survive in this league? How do I make it? And what do you do when there's 9 kids younger than you in the locker room now?
Like I said, it's just it's unique. It's a little different from me because I'm still one of the main guys on the team.
Yeah,
I'm starting. I still play a major role, so it's hard to like always give advice, and be, counting on it
yeah,
as a player. Like when I came to the league, the guys I went to for advice like that, they kind of already accepted their role. They weren't playing no more. They were 15, 14 years in, and they weren't playing. Earl Watson, Jared Jeffries.
right.
I had vets like that they were kind of just at the end of their career. So those were the guys I kind of talked to about life and you know keeping confidence while I'm not playing. So now when guys come to me and ask me things like that, it's kind of tough because like, man, I'm still playing major
Right.
minutes. I still play 30 minutes a game.
Right, right.
So
I'm
it's like
tired.
I'm still no. It's almost a selfish thing. I'm still like I got to focus on what
Yeah,
I'm
on you.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know who was talking about that? That's what Draymond went through last year. Now they got Andre Iguodala, right, and
Yeah.
Steph. But last year they were the oldest dudes on the team and the stars. It was like, yo, that's basically a second job.
Yeah, and no,
Right,
it
right.
is, and that's what I was alluding to. It kind of puts you in a weird position. It's like I'm one of the oldest dudes on the team, but I'm not that old, and I'm one of the main guys. So it's like I got to focus on being ready to play these guys, but at the same time, it is my job to still mentor these young guys. So the first 2 years of it, it was kind of difficult for me and strange, but I'm kind of getting the hang of it and growing into it.
Man, does it help when you had to scrap for everything you've gotten, man? I mean, you have worked for all that you've gotten in this league and in this game. And I just wonder, like you've seen it all. Like you were coming out the top recruit when you were in high school. Like you were the one and done, top five recruit. You got all that attention. Then you had to really work your way into the league, work for every contract you got. I just wonder if that kind of perspective helps you when guys come to you and say, "Yo, I don't understand what's happening to me. I don't understand why I'm not playing. I don't understand why coach is on me. I don't understand anything that's going on or off the court."
Yeah, it definitely helps. Like you said, I've kind of seen almost every role in basketball, uh, even getting all the way up to the NBA. Besides being, a superstar and an all star, like you said, I've been a guy that came out of high school, highly recruited, a top five player in the country. Only went to school 2 years. Then I seen the other side of getting drafted second round, having to earn even a guaranteed contract. Um, Not playing to really not. I always tell kids I didn't skip a step. I got traded to Denver, got my opportunity, became a role player, became a six man to a starter. So I tell them like I'm one of those guys you can lean on because I didn't skip a step. I know how everyone in this locker room feels besides Nikola Jokic because he's a superstar.
Right.
You know, but everyone
Facts.
else on the team, I know how it feels to
got
ride
you,
the
yeah.
bench. I know how it feels to get traded. I know how it feels to be a star in your role. I know how it is to be counted on. So I just try to give all the guys a little bit of my knowledge of any role that I ever played in my career.
You know what's funny, DA? Like Will talking like he Martin on Life, right? I'm trying to figure out, well, what the hell is Jeff Green? Like,
Right.
Look, we called Jeff Green Unc.
Right.
So
yeah, you look Jeff Green a super OG then, huh?
look, super OG. When they calling me OG, he's super OG.
Right.
Hey, you know, Will, I remember the year you got drafted. I don't think a lot of people notice. This might be one of the greatest second round stretches of all time. I don't know if people really notice, but if you look, Jay Crowder 34, Draymond 35, Orlando Johnson, Quincy AC 37, Quincy Miller, Chris Middleton 39, and then you 40. I mean, that's some second round talent. What was the draft workouts like?
The draft workouts were, I mean, it was tough. Like you said, we actually had a pretty deep draft. People sleep on that draft, but I remember going into it, some people were calling it weak, but it actually turned out to be a pretty good draft. I mean, starting at the top with, of course, AD, Dame,
Bradley Beal,
yeah. So we got some superstars out of that, and we got some, like you said, some pretty good role players out of it. Draymond's second rounder, and he has a good chance of maybe one day being a Hall of Famer with his resume and accolades. So, I just remember that process, man. I probably had about 16 workouts just because my range was so wide. We didn't know if I was slated to go anywhere from about 18 to the early second round. So it was a long process. A lot of guys that were real good and talented. And, every workout was a dogfight because we are fighting for position, jockeying for position to, get drafted as early as possible.
Dude, why did you let cameras be with you on draft night? I don't understand.
You said, why did I what?
Why did you let cameras stick with you on draft night? That's like the most stressful night of your life.
Hey, DA, look, man, I'm from the hood. I don't know no better.
Right.
Listen, I don't know no better. I've never had no one in my family experience nothing like this.
Right.
I don't know. I was getting great feedback. I remember the day before the draft, the Bulls had reached out to me and was like, man, I'll never forget this. They had the 29th pick.
Yeah.
And I remember they called me and my agent and was like, man, we love Will. If he's at the 29th pick, we're taking him for sure. We don't even think he's going to be there. We might try to move up to get him. So I'm like, cool. And I had some other teams that I knew had high interest in me from about 17 to about that range.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the draft feeling good. I'm like, man, I can go anywhere probably from about 18, but I know I'm not slipping past the Bulls at 29.
Right.
So, I'm excited. I'm rocking and rolling. And I'm looking at the picks to get to about 18, 17. So I'm excited. I'm like, okay, I can go to this team. I can go to that team. But I know, it get to that Bulls at 29. I'm like, at least I know that's where I'm going.
Right.
So it's going. Get to 29. I'm like, here we go. And they called someone else. And I was like, what the fuck?
Who was it? It was who was it? Was it Teague?
They drafted Marcus Teague. Yep.
Marcus Teague.
Yeah, because Azili was next. Festus Azili went next, and I remember Marcus Teague. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Oh my God, dude, it was so painful. And then when the camera follows you down the hallway, and I'm like, leave him alone, man, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying?
Look, hey, DA, it wasn't scripted, baby.
Right?
Hey, that was real reality TV. Huh?
Once it got to 29 and I didn't get picked, everything you saw was I had no idea what was happening.
Right?
I didn't even know he was following me.
Is that right?
I mean, you got to understand, I was just so messed up in the head. I just walked out the room. I didn't know what was going on.
Dude, I'm Joe Journalism, and I'm saying, leave that boy alone.
Yeah.
Get that camera off him, man.
Hey man, it was heartbreaking at the moment, man. I was
Yeah.
sick to the stomach.
Oh man, but shit, it's worked out. Like I said, you've earned that shit, man.
When you look at your career, like especially since you've essentially been in different eras of basketball, now if you were drafted now, feels like what you do would be more valued. Is that an accurate assessment? Like you a natural bucket getter.
I think about it all the time, especially the way the game has gone now. There's more positionless.
Yeah.
Because at the time when I was coming out, people would, they didn't know. Well, is he a two guard? He doesn't shoot the ball good enough. Because at that time, I didn't really shoot the three well. He's too small for the three. So it was kind of like he's good, but we don't know what position is he. And at that time, when I first came to the league, it was all about position.
Yeah.
It was all about potential at your position and those things. So now, oh man, I'd probably be for sure a lottery pick if I came out out in this era. But it is what it is.
Man, I've talked to B. Shaw so many times about his time in Denver, and you were there really at the beginning of all of that, man. And I just can't imagine what it's like for you to have seen where they were when you got there and where y'all are now. That has to be like, it blows my mind because it was as bad as it could be in the NBA. And now y'all are one of the best teams in the NBA. And I just wonder, like, how do you process that, man?
I took a lot of pride in that, man. Like you said, when I first got here, I mean, I used to joke, me and Gary Harris used to joke all the time. I had more people at my draft workout than we had at games. So, to see that turnaround, I mean, it's crazy. And it's something, if you're a competitor, if you're a true competitor, you always want to be a part of something like that. And that's the reason, that was always played a part in my free agency of why I stayed twice. Because I always wanted to see it through and see how far we could actually, take it, especially as long as I'm a main part of the core. Yeah. So, and to this day, we're still trying to see how far we could take it. I think we're talented enough to compete and win a championship as long as we're healthy. So, it's definitely satisfying, and it has a lot of gratitude just seeing something literally come from the bottom, the bottom, being a joke, no one taking it serious, no one coming to games, and to now, we're a strong contender.
How do you feel about where you guys are now? Because on one hand, it's like, we know you're not a 500 team. Like, we've seen the peak of this team. Like, we've seen you be a problem, right? Especially when you get Jamal in there, right?
Right.
But also, that's kind of impressive to be 2 games over 500 at this point, considering what y'all have been through, right? Like, how do you guys view it in the locker room?
We competitive, so we know we're better than a 2 games over 500 team. Yeah. And we still have a lot of good talent, so we're never satisfied. But at the same time, we have conversations. I know me and Aaron Gore have conversations about, it's just a weird season. We came into it knowing Jamal wasn't going to be there. Then Mike goes down, the first month of the season. Yeah. You never know who's playing because of COVID. So it's like it's a weird season. And for us to still be where we're at, it is a testament of our hard work. And you got to understand, we haven't even, out of all the teams in that playoff hunt right now, we haven't even really put together a long winning streak.
Right.
So we just keep telling ourselves, all we got to do is keep weathering the storm, and we go on one of those win streaks that we usually do. We're a top 3, top 4 seed if we can pull that together. Because, like I said, I don't even think this season we've won over 4 games in a row. We win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 1, win
5 straight is your longest winning streak this year.
Yeah, and that was
early
in the season. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, I just keep trying to tell the guys, hey man, let's just keep competing. We're undermanned. It's a weird season, but let's just keep competing. Try to put a long string of wins together, and boom, now we go from a 6 seed to maybe a 3, 4. We're right in that mix.
Yeah.
So we just try to stay positive no matter what. We're going to keep fighting.
What is it like during this last stretch where there's literally dudes walking in the locker room saying, hey, I play for y'all now, and you don't know? I mean, they just came literally off the street, wherever, like, what is that? I mean, how do how do you try to even plan any chemistry or anything? How do you play with a guy you've never played with before?
It's like you said, it's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes coming in the shoot around, you might got 4 or 5 guys that you not only you never met, I never even seen play. Like, period. I have no idea who this guy is, what he does, or nothing. But at the same time, I'm grateful and thankful for those guys because they're kind of saving the season right now.
Yeah. Right.
And most of the guys that come up are real good dudes, man, and they're just trying to come in and do their job and help the team no matter, what their role is. And I can always respect that. Like you said, I mean, I come from the trenches. I seen the bottoms of the bottoms and the lows of the lows and just keep climbing. So I have empathy for those guys, and I wish them the best with their career and in life, period. So very grateful for those guys, man. Definitely. But it's definitely tough on the court, like you said, with no chemistry. And some of these guys might literally be in rotation that night. So it's like, it's tough.
Do you look at Bones like, yo, this is a guy after my own heart right here?
This
dude.
Listen, I knew Bones since he was in high school, though. So,
word, nice.
Bones came to my camp in like when he was in either 10th, I want to say 10th grade or 11th grade when I first met Bones. Then I have my youth basketball team that plays on the Under Armour circuit for AAU, which is the same circuit he played on. So I've been knowing Bones. We actually been in contact. We've had each other number. We've talked since he's literally been in high school. Like before he committed to VCU, we've had conversations. He always looked up to me as a big brother and a mentor. And obviously we have a lot of similarities in our game and things like that. So it was just crazy once he got drafted. But I was like, oh, we got a hooper, a real hooper. And another guy I like because his background story is similar to mine. I know he comes from, the trenches. I know he comes from the inner city. Huh? Yeah, he literally got out the mud. I mean, he's been through some stuff. So it's always, love and respect between us two.
Man, he's got the coldest nickname in the game too.
It's great.
Who, Bones?
That's unbelievable, yo.
Yeah, no.
You can't be soft with a name like Bones.
No.
Man, you mentioned. I mean, look, I'm from DC. You came from Baltimore. Similar, I think. Similar types of cities in terms of it's harder. It's very hard to come to get out of certain circumstances that you're in. And I wonder what grinding on a daily basis was like for you as a young man, knowing you had talent, knowing you had skill, and knowing that, I have a chance, if things go right. And just kind of like, who helped guide you through those years? Who helped guide you to get to the point where you could get to Memphis? And then, everybody sees it. It's obvious once you get to high school and once you get to college.
Man, I tell people all the time, DA, really, I'm just blessed, man. When I think about it, just to even have a vision and a dream. I tell people all the time, the neighborhoods I grew up in, man, is drug dealers, killers, like literally. Like one of my high school coaches will tell you, when he came to pick me up, it was like it was something he never seen before. And my love for basketball, and always thinking that I was going to the NBA. Now, when I think back on it, it's the reason I never thought I was in such a bad place, because I was always thinking about my future in basketball. But when I really think about it, I was no different from that kid that's living next door to me that's selling drugs. The only difference was God blessed me with a vision, not just a talent, but with a vision. Because we all got talent. But if you don't have a vision and you can't dream it and you don't have no hope, then when it coming from our environments, what's next for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I take pride in, man. Not just the talent, but just having a passion and a dream and a vision for something that, just kept me away from where I really was. Yeah. Like, where I grew up at was bad as hell, but I never even thought about it that way because I was too focused on basketball. Like, I was always just playing basketball, and most of the time, people respected what I was doing and just let me be. But everything was right there. Like I said, it's people that I was close friends with, dead, murderers, in jail, all kinds of stuff. So it's like I just was blessed with a with hope, basically, and they didn't have none. And you know, where we come from, if you don't have no hope, it's over with for you.
Right.
It's wild how that's like a story across USA. You know what I'm saying? Like we had
Yeah.
that's the same. That's a story East Oakland, story in DC, right? Chicago.
Absolutely. And it's weird because I don't know where my hope came from either. You know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just a blessing, man. I'm telling you, it comes from nowhere. Like I said, I'm no different from that kid that was living next door to me, or that I was going to school with, or that I was hanging with. Yeah. Like I said, I don't even know where it came from. I tell people that all the time. It's just a blessing, man.
Yeah. I like how like you are, still connected with your community. I think you link with Ed Reed, doing work in the community. Obviously Carmelo. What's Baltimore like after what it's been through, after what this nation has been through, and how important is it for guys like you to keep that flag planted at home?
Man, to be honest with you, I think it might be worse. It might be worse. I know murders is at an all-time high. Drugs is at an all-time high. Like I said, they saying now you're saying so much stuff. It's so graphic now, where they're not even hiding some of the stuff. They're not even hiding racism. They're not even hiding deaths. So it's like kids growing up in the area, they don't even give a fuck. It's like, what am I? What is my purpose to try to do right? It's almost like they don't care. So that's why anytime I can go home and give them any kind of hope, I try to do it, because you got to look when you come from the inner city, right? Most of the time you see success on a TV,
right?
That shit don't seem real to you,
right?
The only other success you see is a drug dealer or something.
Yeah,
so that's
criminal
what
stuff.
That's what you're going to want to be.
That's what's in front of you, right?
That's what's in front of you. So anytime I come home, it's not even about camps or about anything, my backpack giveaways or things I do of that nature. The money I spend is really the time. When I go home, sometimes I just kick it with kids in their hood, and they'll tell you, I pull up and just chill with them and talk to them and just let them know that this shit is real, that it is attainable. Because I know they feel like it's fake because they only seeing it on TV.
Was Carmelo somebody that gave you that kind of like lifeline? Like, he did it, he got out, I can do the same thing.
Oh yeah, of course. Anytime you see, he was a huge star, especially once he did what he did at Syracuse, that one and done shit.
Yeah.
And won it all. I mean, I think I would be allowed to say every kid in Baltimore didn't want to be Melo. He gave us all hope, especially if you were a basketball player or athlete, because we knew where he came from. I mean, it ain't no secret he came from the trenches just like me. So
yeah.
When I seen that happen, I was like, okay, if I do it the right way, I can do this. So he definitely, was one of those flagships for us.
Do Be More guys hate The Wire, or do y'all like that the show put y'all on the map?
I mean, I like the show, period. I mean, the show, it was just a good show. I mean, I wouldn't say we hate it. We probably hate that anytime we're out of town, so that's the first thing we want to ask you about. Right. But I mean, the show is real. We lived it, so I mean, some of it is not even as graphic as real life is. But no, we don't hate it. We love the show. It was a great show. We're proud to have one of the greatest shows ever. Be based on our city. But like I said, the only thing we hate is that anytime I go somewhere to this day, if someone don't know me and I'm out of town and they know I'm from Baltimore, the first thing they say, "Damn, man, is The Wire real?"
Like, that's what I been thinking.
He's so intrigued by it. It's crazy.
Right. Man, hey, I wanted to ask you about playing with Jokic, because look, everybody's a genius after somebody becomes a superstar. Ain't no way in hell nobody thought this guy was going to become a superstar. When did you see something in him that made you go, "Oh shit"?
The crazy thing, he another one. He really never skipped any steps. Like, he got drafted late. I remember seeing him for the first time in summer league, because I had my brother playing on our summer league team. So I went down there and checked him out. And I seen him playing summer league, and they was telling me he was one of the guys that was coming over for the season. And at first, he was kind of out of shape. His body didn't look the best, so you kind of looking at him like, what does he really do?
Yeah.
I seen him play a little bit. I seen he had a little skill. I was like, he all right. But I mean, I didn't think nothing of him. And then we got to training camp. It was like, he can play a little bit. I still don't, it was like a progress. Like I still didn't know how good he was. Then all our bigs got hurt and he was forced to play.
Right.
And from the first game, you just seen him. I think he had like close to a triple-double. And I was like, damn, he might be all right. And he kept doing it game after game after game. And I was like, this motherfucker might can be a starter in the league. And he came back the second year he started. And then I was like, he might can be an all-star.
Right.
And he was an all-star. And I was like, he might can be, the best player in the league. And I think he's right there in that category where, you can't mention 5 players and not mention, Yoke.
No. Yo, you a guy who, like, when you get rolling, it's curtains, right? Like, the feeling of, all right, I'm on, it's over. Yeah. What is it like watching this dude? I promise you, sometimes this dude does not touch the rim. Like, he'll have 5 people in front of him, and it's like he's shooting this weird. He shoot like he a 75-year-old dude playing with his grandkids. That old school over the head shot, and that joker do not touch the rim. It's got to be wild in person.
No, listen, man. He probably got the best touch that I ever seen, up close and personal. I mean, he make floaters, runners, like you said, jumper barely. When he shoots it, really don't touch rim, and when he gets rolling, he gets rolling. And to see like him in the league, I mean, he's one of the best bigs, like I said, I've ever seen. Probably him, Embiid, Cousins, LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, AD. They probably the best bigs that I've played against or played with. So it's just crazy. It's crazy.
I had never seen a big man make passes like this dude. This dude is unbelievable.
No, he's different. His passing is crazy. His passing is crazy.
I don't even know what he's looking at. And the ball,
sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes he throw you open. He throw you open like he almost like a quarterback.
Right?
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers out here, huh?
Right?
That's
unbelievable. Man, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Hey, can we claim you on the West? You done been in Portland, Denver. You ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you one of us. You a West Sider now, right? You like Pac. Pac started. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm from the East Side for life.
No, you love the West, though. You
love
the West.
Tell him, Will.
I definitely got
you turned out on the West. We got
Tell
you.
him.
It's
410. Tell him, Will.
Yeah, no, it's 410 for life. You know that, DA. You know that. I can never go against that.
Hell no.
It's cool, but I know where you're going to spend the rest of your days.
In Miami?
Right?
Facts.
I ain't mad at you,
dude. Yeah, facts. Yeah, smart move, baby.
I am not mad at you, cuz, man. So, look, let me get you out on this. I always like, people always ask me, like, who's the bucket in the league? Who's the bucket getter in the league? And you always at the top of the list. I got some other guys that I have at the top of the list. I want to hear your bucket getter list. Who would have got, besides yourself now, who's just a bucket in this league?
Man, number one, I gotta go with Kyrie.
Yeah.
I think Kyrie. I don't even think he gets enough credit.
He's unguardable.
For how good he is. I tell people that all the time.
He's unguardable.
Because you don't play in the NBA, but you're a part of our culture. I mean, you come to the game so long that your knowledge is crazy. But when you tell people that's not a part of this, that they kind of look at me crazy. Like, I tell people, like, Kyrie, throw away accolades, resume. I say, if you just roll the ball out there, and I ain't talking about no systems or nothing like that. We just hooping.
Yeah.
He might be the most talented point guard I've ever seen.
Yo, he's
just
nuts.
It's different.
You know what's crazy? It's all improv. Like, it's all free. He like a freestyle rapper out there. Like, and it's crazy.
I'm telling you, no weaknesses in this offensive game. None.
I agree. None.
I would say him, though. I would say him. KD, of course. I mean, you can't. I'm trying to go somewhere where, it's not as mainstream. I'm trying to think.
To me, a guy that doesn't get the attention is Terrence Ross. That dude is a
Yeah,
straight
bucket.
up bucket.
Me and T. Ross came out of high school together too. So
Dude,
yeah,
bucket.
T. Ross definitely is one of them guys. He heat up quick too.
Oh Lord.
And when he hot, it's over.
Yeah, it's over with.
It's over.
It's over with.
That dude. Oh my God.
Hey, but Will, you know what it is though, right? That's kind of a lost art. Like everybody's shooting threes, and you know, the game is so regimented. Like it's even with all the space, you don't have a lot of guys who could just like, yo, I'm about to go get a bucket. That's kind of a lost art.
No, it is. It is. But I feel like those are the teams that are winning the championships. They got multiple guys that can get buckets. I even tell people when the Raptors won it that year. I mean, obviously KD went down, but if you look at that team, and you know Kawhi gets a lot of credit for it as he should, but I mean, Van Fleet was getting buckets in that series.
Buckets.
He made everything.
He a bucket getter.
He made everything. It was crazy.
Everything. Lowry was getting buckets. Pascal Siakam was getting buckets. So I think in today's league, if you don't have multiple guys that can either make plays or get buckets, you're gonna come up short. Unless, I mean, it's just a year with a lot of injuries. But if healthy, you got to have multiple bucket getters. I mean, even look at the team, Utah. They got multiple guys that can just fill it up. Mike, Donovan, Clarkson, Bogey. I mean, you got to have multiple guards that can just go out there and get a bucket, man, because it puts so much pressure on the defense.
Right.
Yeah, Bones gonna be one of them dudes. Watch.
Oh, dude.
Bones gonna be Bones, bro. Like it's crazy.
Listen, he one of the ones. Yeah. He one of the ones. Once he get even more experience, I mean, it's gonna be curtains for a lot of people. Bones special, man.
Yeah,
he got it now. Like he just walking, he got it now.
No, he do, but I'm saying it's gonna be on a higher level.
Oh yeah, no question. Once he gets
right now it's up and down, you know, rookie year, but when he really learns this game, the nuances of it, it's gonna be hard to guard him.
You getting tired yet? Your back hurting yet? You getting grays?
I got one gray hair, man. You can't see it right now because I didn't glue it out. I saved a couple gray hairs. I was telling my homeboys, I said, yeah, man, they always told me it would go fast. I ain't believe
it's coming. It's coming, bro.
You about to put in a good 82 too. A good 82 at like 30 plus a game. Yeah.
Hey.
You stretching and everything now, huh?
That'll hurt you, man. The multiple years playing 30 minutes and playing the whole season, that's a lot of wear and tear on your body.
What's crazy is that's what you, like, remember when you were in Portland and it was like, yo, man, like, can I get some more run? You come in, get a few buckets and sit down. Like,
look, you couldn't wait for it.
Yeah. That's funny. Now you like, hey, I need a practice day off, man. You stretching. You
can't wait for an off day.
It go by fast, bro. It go by fast. You're OG now.
Done, man.
It's true. Well, man, thank you so much for joining us, bro. I mean, I love talking to guys that have earned it, the guys that have worked their way up and worked through it, and like you said, didn't skip any steps, man. And you did it the right way. And man, best of luck to you. Just stay safe out here, man. This as you know, this thing is crazy out here right now.
Hey, when you done, you're gonna come to Oakland and they're gonna be like, man, I hated you. Like you was always killing.
They might not let me in the city, man.
No, when you done, that's what I said. When you done, now, when you done, they're gonna be like, man, remember that dude he used to destroy? So funny.
You gonna get that honorary pass?
Oh yeah, they gonna give him a free cut. You know what I'm saying? Come on, sit down.
Sit in the good chair too. You're not in the second chair. You be in the good chair. Right?
Nah, get on over here. I can't stand you.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through.
Absolutely.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
Of course, man.
Ice up, baby. Get the ointments. You got a long ride ahead of you.
Hey, man, we got one tomorrow. Look, you see, I'm still in the gym right now.
Hey, then you got the playoffs. It's going down this year. You better be ready.
That's right. 2 more months.
Going down, man. Going down, man.
Lord. All right, dude. Stay safe, bro.
All right, now.
All right.